there's some very brave people here on both sides of the aisle that stood up.
Personal hero, as I've said on many occasions, is Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt was a strong conservative. He was also an activist, and he was a committed environmentalist. I'm proud of what we did in the state of Arizona. Morris Udall, who was a liberal Democrat and a very dear friend of mine, I and many others put 3.5 million acres of Arizona into permanent, pristine preservation status. Issue of illegal immigrants, and there's the issue of illegal drugs. And both of those more and more are tied together because of the influence of the cartels. But we are very glad my colleagues came. They learned a lot, which they will tell you themselves, and we will respond to your questions about the progress of our efforts on comprehensive immigration reform. I run for President of the United States because I want to return our government back to whom it belongs, the people. And if I have to follow him to the gates of hell, I will get Osama bin Laden and bring him to justice. I will do that. And I know how. I just want to repeat again how excited I am to have Sarah Palin, the great governor of Alaska, as my running mate. Tonight, I have a privilege given few Americans. Privilege of accepting our party's nomination for President of the United States.
I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab. He is not.
No man. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues, and that's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Thank you.
I am no longer an active candidate for my party's nomination for president. I congratulate Governor Bush and wish him and his family well. He may very well become the next president of the United States.
The American people have spoken, and they have spoken clearly. A little while ago, I had the honor of calling Senator Barack Obama to congratulate him, on being elected the next president of the country that we both love. This bill should be named the State Certain for Surrender Act. A second-year cadet at West Point will tell you if you announce to the enemy that you're leaving, it's a recipe for defeat. If you're sitting there in El Salvador today and 1 out of 10 don't even show up to get the permiso slips, only 1 out of 10 show up actually before a judge. Isn't that true?
I've heard that number, yes.
You've heard that number.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I've heard various numbers, but that's one of them. It's
Was that a valid number? You wouldn't even know how many, what percentage don't show up with a permiso slip?
Well,
in 2008, the reason why the President of the United States is president today is he voted against the Iraq War resolution Hillary Clinton voted for. That helped him get the nomination. So he came to the presidency saying he's going to get out of everywhere. And look, and he has been, I got to hand it to him, he's done that to a degree. Look at the world in 2009 and look at the world today. My friends, it is dramatically shifted in favor of the forces of radical Islam, the forces of terror, and there are now direct threats to the United States of America.
You're going to have to shut up or I'm going to have you arrested. If we can't get the Capitol Hill police in here immediately, get out of here, you low-life scum.
This is really the worst situation by far that any of us have seen as far as U.S.-Israel relations. The only democratically elected, free and democratic nation in the entire Middle East. And it's very serious and it's very unfortunate.
It's been so disappointing to see some presidential candidates engaged in loose talk on the campaign trail about reviving waterboarding and other inhumane interrogation techniques. It might be easy to dismiss this bluster as cheap campaign rhetoric, but these statements must not go unanswered because they mislead the American people about the realities of interrogation, how to gather intelligence, what it takes to defend our security, and at the most fundamental level, what we are fighting for as a nation and what kind of nation we are.
The world has only grown more dangerous over the past 5 years, but the resources available to our military has continued to decline.
I'm not going to talk about Donald Trump.
Okay, I'm not.
No, I am not, and have not, and will not.
I am worried about this president's view of Russia. Listen, it's Vladimir Putin who sent planes with precision weapons hitting the hospitals in Aleppo. This guy is a war criminal, okay? He's a butcher and a thug. I feel very strongly about this because I believe in America and our moral superiority, and that's what I have questions about. Can you understand that?
Some half-baked, spurious nationalism cooked up by people who would rather find scapegoats than solve problems. I have a refreshed appreciation for the protocols and customs of this body and for the other 99 privileged souls who have been elected to this Senate. Our deliberations can still be important and useful, but I think we'd all agree they haven't been overburdened by greatness lately. And right now, they aren't producing much for the American people. Both sides have let this happen. We've all played some role in it. Certainly I have. Sometimes I've let my passion rule my reason. I hope we can again rely on humility, on our need to cooperate, on our dependence on each other, to learn how to trust each other again, and by so doing better, serve the people who elected us. Stop listening to the bombastic loudmouths on the radio and television and the internet. To hell with them. What have we to lose by trying to work together to find those solutions? We're not getting done much apart. That it is an honor to serve the American people in your company. Thank you, fellow senators. Mr. President, I yield the floor.